High.
Shalom. Shalom, family.
We are here again at Mountain, giving honor and praise unto the Most High, the Creator, the Maker of heaven and earth. See us on the screen, hear what we're saying, brothers and sisters. The greatness of the Most High. They try to bottle some of it by putting it in this and then try to sell it. Nonetheless, brothers and sisters, we are looking at mountains and trees. We're looking at the bees and the bugs. We're looking at the leaves. We're looking at feeling the change of the season as it gets a little cooler and so forth, like the Most High said in the book of Genesis, that day and night and cold and heat will not cease. But what we want to talk about briefly in this presentation, short video, if we will, right? Trying to show both of our faces to be seen. But nonetheless, could be seen? Okay, could be seen. Okay, now, let's take the book of Exodus, for instance. In the work that the Most High did, the Egyptians were known for dealing with snakes, serpents, and so forth and so on. And the Most High dealt with them according to how they dealt with things. For instance, the turning of the staff to a serpent, if we will. Brothers and sisters, the Egyptians would have been acquainted with that already. So it was nothing for them to turn their staffs into serpents. So the scriptures doesn't deny that the Egyptians dealt with what you would call secret arts. But brothers and sisters, we know that anything of secret arts, as far as the house of Israel is concerned, comes by the authority of the Most High. And that's what we're seeing in Exodus, when Moses' rod swallowed up the other rods of the Egyptians, and then the plagues that happened. So that just go to show you the deepness and the magnificence of the Most High, and that he slumbers not nor sleeps, and that he fights for his people Israel. So while Israel is here back in Egypt in ships, brothers and sisters, Abraham Lincoln knew about the fight that was against their hands. Abraham Lincoln in his later speeches said that for every stroke of a whip that was applied to black people, so did one person in the Civil War that was Caucasian die. He said that while saying that the judgments of the Lord are true and righteous. So sometimes people try to say that the Civil War had nothing to do with slavery, but that's not true. Because Mississippi in the state ordinance in the 1860s, Texas in the state ordinance in the 1860s spoke about the reason why they broke away from the Union was because they wanted to maintain the quote said African as slaves. Now, the African that was enslaved were not slaves. They were enslaved people that were taken out of Africa. Western Africa, for the most part, after their ancestors fled there during the Greco-Roman empires from Greco-Roman persecution and fled eventually, setting up kingdoms in Western Africa, Oyo, Zegzeg, Nufa, Ashanti, so forth and so on. Then later on, being attacked after setting up those kingdoms by the Ishmaelites slash the Arabs and that religion of Islam being brought to them. You understand? From the 7th century AD or CE on. Then in the 1440s, having brothers and sisters, the Portuguese, then later on the Spaniards, people taking the people into slavery. Brothers and sisters, we want to point something out. As been pointed out before by many people in Deuteronomy 28 verse 68. The Most High let that happen to the house of Israel. In Isaiah 60, it says about the triumph of Israel and their glory in the future. It says that the ships of Tarshish will come first to give that. That the ships of Tarshish will come first. Tarshish is from Japhet. Tarshish is the ancestors of the people of Spain and Portugal, the same first ones who started the Atlantic slave trade. The ships of Tarshish will come first because they knew good and well who they were capturing. So when Israel is going to be repaid back, which was one of the worries and fears of many people in the Confederacy, that the true house of Israel will be compensated for what it was. Restitution, if you will. Some people may say the word letting that pass by. Oh, reparations. But their reparations that they talking, they can't give to compensate for breaking up somebody's family and literally dividing the mother by severing the baby out her womb with a bayonet, or putting gunpowder in a man's anus and then igniting it and causing them to blow up to different pieces. You can't give somebody money on account of that. So as we read in the said Old Testament, life shall go for life. You understand? Kai, takat kai. You understand? Hand for hand, yad takat yad. You understand? So you can't sit there and give your currency as a compensation for the wickedness that you've done. This is why in the book of Zephaniah, it says they will cast their silver and their gold in the streets and it shall be counted as a vain thing. Because the Most High is coming back for blood, brothers and sisters. And so with that being the case, as it says in Isaiah, the 20th chapter, or Isaiah chapter 26, where it distinctly says, brothers and sisters, in closing my particular portion out here, that the earth will no longer hide her blood, that she has been holding on to. So things are going to come out and things are going to be revealed. And the truth of the Most High shall stand forever, even if they want to call it an old book. Shalom.
Shalom, family. I don't have much to say, because as the Morey covered everything that you needed to know. I just want to say stay blessed, stay close to the Most High. All praises and glory and honor and esteem go unto Him. Everything you do, put Him first. And Shabbat Shalom. Love you.
And Shabbat Shalom. Most High bless. It is a pleasant day, even in the lands of our captivity or exile. Enjoy the Shabbat. Enjoy the time off. The 6 working days, put that work in. And see you next time. Shalom.